These are 7 issues that the opposition political parties must address towards success in 2027. With particular reference to the coalition political party, the African Democratic Congress. The party must tell Nigerians what or how it will handle these 7 issues. Because the so-called All Progressives Congress took advantage of the prevailing circumstances of war against the Boko Haram Muslim community, worsening mass abject poverty and insecurities, emerging insecurities. Because Nigeria was relatively secure until the Boko Haram, until the government started its attack on the Boko Haram Muslim community. I remember Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, the then president who started the war, saying with pride, Boko Haram did not start the attack, we did. Imposing a jihadist war on Nigeria and sustained since then, 2009 till date, 2025. Even though Muhammadu Buhari, Umaru Musa Yar'Adua himself, who started the war in 2009, died in 2010. But the war has been perpetuated since then till now, ravaging human lives and the economic resources of Nigeria. And now, as we are told, Nigeria does not have enough soldiers, policemen, security personnel to handle the level of insecurities bedeviling Nigeria. So, what will the new rulers, assuming they get power in 2027, how will they handle the war against the Boko Haram Muslim community? Seek peace with the community to exist as peacefully as under the presidency of Olusegun Obasanjo, or continue the war that has ranged since 2009 till date. In 2012, Boko Haram agreed to dialogue for peace. Nigeria rulers, religio-politica, declined to dialogue for peace with Boko Haram in 2012 under the presidency of Goodluck Ebele Asikwe Jonathan. And when Muhammadu Buhari became the president in 2015, Boko Haram said, "This is our brother. We hope he will seek peace with us." Muhammadu Buhari declined again and said Nigerians should give him 6 weeks within which to eradicate the Boko Haram Muslim community. He failed to do it in 8 years, as Goodluck Ebele Asikwe Jonathan failed to do it in 4 years, even though he told Nigerians to give him 6 months within which to eradicate the community. So he said in December 2011 that Nigerians should give him 6 months to eradicate the Boko Haram Muslim community. He failed to do it in 4 years, 2011 to 2015. Muhammadu Buhari, who asked for 6 weeks because he was a major general, a retired major general in the army, yet failed to do it in 8 months, and now continued by the presidency of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What will the ADC do differently, or any other opposition political party that intends to take over the rulership of Nigeria from the APC? So that's number one against the Boko Haram. Number 2, herdsmen terrorism based on grazing of cattle in agrarian fields, ambulant grazing of cattle, rather than establishing gardens to breed and nurse cattle. That's number 2. Number 3, the fraud called fuel subsidy in an oil exporting nation. Fuel subsidy claimed by the rulers in an oil exporting nation. So what has the ADC or any other political party aiming at taking over the rulership of the Nigeria tell us about what is called the dragon called fuel subsidy? Number 4, President doubling himself as petroleum minister and accounting for nothing, either as the president or as the petroleum minister, as experienced with Muhammadu Buhari and now with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Number 5, returning Nigeria to true federalism, or what is called restructuring. For progressive competition as it was in the First Republic, when the different regions of Nigeria were struggling to develop their regions, focused and competitive positively. Before Bola Ahmed Tinubu attained power, either as a chieftain of the APC or as now the president, he used to talk about true federalism, and he was vociferous about it, but he lost his voice on true federalism after his political party, the APC, got power in 2015 till date. So we want to hear from those aspiring to be the new rulers of Nigeria. What do they say about returning Nigeria to true federalism? 6, politicization of Islam and Christianity against the constitution that prohibits state religion. And 7, about a truly independent National Electoral Commission, which principal officers are not chosen by the partisan people in power. And that borders on implementation of the recommendations of the Electoral Reform Committee of the late Justice Muhammad Uwais. The committee was set up by the late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. But after the committee finished its work and presented its recommendations, Yar'Adua developed cold feet. And that was one of the reasons Nigerians were happy with him. They didn't know what he had in plan. They had this war to be imposed on Nigeria. He promised to declare state of emergency on electricity. He failed to do it, rather impose a jihadist war on Nigeria. So, number 7A. Number 7A, implementation of the recommendation of the Electoral Reform Committee of Mohammed Wise. And okay, so number 7 is a truly independent INEC. 7A is implementation of the recommendations of the Electoral Reform Committee. So these are the 7 issues. War against Boko Haram, what we change? Herdsmen terrorism, what we change? The fraud called fuel subsidy, what we change? Returning Nigerians to true federalism, what we change? Politicization of Islam and Christianity, what we change? A truly independent National Electoral Commission, and implementation of the Electoral Reform Committee, so that the Electoral Commission can be truly independent. That is what that's all about. So Nigerians should be interested in positive change. Please go and get your PVC. Get ready to support the African Democratic Congress, particularly if it takes the right steps that can convince Nigerians that something different, something positive will be effected, as against the APC that took undue advantage of the prevailing situation to be perpetuating worse evils than it inherited.